Hello, beautiful humans, and thank you for joining me on YouTube here on this channel. I'm Kelsey Anderson, a psychic medium and intuitive energy healer who is here to share what I have learned over the years of being in practice to provide support, assistance, teaching, guidance, and a loving space. Today, I'm going to share how I connect with spirit, what it feels like, and what I've learned from mediumship over the years. You'll get a breakdown of it all, some personal stories, and some takeaways that you can do in your personal life if you're interested in mediumship or you're practicing or you just want to learn more about it. This is a space to create together of awareness, of love, and a place where we can tune into all of the magical things that weave us together in our cosmic lives. When I was a child, I was tuned in with spirit. I didn't exactly know what was going on, but I knew I always felt a bit different. I could feel things other people could feel. I would know things ahead of really being able to know them. I was quite an anxious child, actually. I felt like I always could feel things that were about to happen. And while I never had words to explain it, and certainly in the time I came up in the 90s, we weren't speaking about this frequently, I will say that going back and looking at this now as a practicing psychic medium, helping people from all over the world, I can see the younger me being so tuned in, but having some challenging experiences and really not knowing what to do when I was starting to see spirits come to me. I remember one time I told my parents, "Mom, I see a ghost. It's opening the door. It lives in our house. It's all around." And I was told, "Hey, I think that's your imagination." That's a really common experience for so many intuitives, psychics, mediums, or people that are just tuned in to the energy. While it wasn't malicious in any way, and of course my parents were like, "Hey, this sounds like you have an imaginary friend." Looking back, I can see how this spirit world was opened up to me at such a young age. And to be honest, I didn't really tune back in until my 20s when I went through a massive spiritual awakening. This is when it all came back online. I was working with a beautiful group of people finally. I was listening to the calling, and I was really starting to understand my intuitive abilities as it started in Reiki. And as I was practicing Reiki, all the way up to Reiki Master, I started to then be drawn to mediumship. And in the first practice, where I really tuned in to someone who had passed, myself and another person were told to tune in and call in a spirit to work with. And as we did, we were told to describe who we were seeing. And we both were able to sit with this spirit, sit with this person, and really get to know them. And then after that, we turned to each other and started describing what we saw. And lo and behold, we described the exact same person down to the details: the motorcycle, the jacket, what he was wearing, what his helmet looked like, what his essence was. And we were shocked. I was absolutely floored. How can this be possible? Can I do this? Is this real? Is our imagination connected? I had so many questions and I just did not know where to go with it. And I thought, okay, there's something here, but also I'm really scared of this. My mediumship journey started by being kind of fearful about it all. And luckily, I've had some really beautiful teachers along the way, some of the top mediums in the world now that I'm currently able to learn from and study with. And what this has taught me is that mediumship really opens up to us when we are ready to receive it. And it can be a little scary and disconcerting at first because you don't know exactly what is going on. But when you have frameworks and you have the ability to connect with spirit from a place of love, when you put your intentions and boundaries in place and you really call forward what your intention is of working with the spirit world, everything aligns to protect you, to be with you, and to open up for you in a way that is absolutely what you're capable of understanding, knowing, feeling, and being with in your personal life. And while little me, who was afraid of the dark and saw shadows and spirits and was absolutely terrified of just about everything up until like my 20s, honestly, I now feel such peace with the spirit world. I feel such deep resonance and knowing. And this transition took many years of study. But my goal here on this channel is to tell you everything I know, to share from my heart what I can, share my experience, to teach, to just go over some of these topics that feel really big for people and help make them feel a little bit easier for you to understand, a little safer, and a little more love-led. Because everything I aim to do here is leading from a place of love and intention to work with spirit world. I give over myself to the spirit world to connect with loved ones who have passed, to help people on their path, to help them in their soul remembering, and to meet them where they are at. Because in times like this, when we are going through so much as a collective, I really feel like stepping into our soul magic and living our truth out loud from a place of absolute intention and heart and remembering really does make a difference in this world and helps people along the way. So I'm here as your teacher to help you, to guide you, and also as just someone who's practicing with you and who's doing this work every day, showing up for my clients, showing up for my loved ones, and showing up for the spirit world. I want to talk a little bit about how spirit communicates with me. So I have been through many of the clairs or felt them in session with clients or in practice. I don't know if you're familiar with the clairs, but I'm going to go over them really, really briefly because I think it's important to have a baseline of what the clairs are and what that means. The one that really came through for me first was clairvoyance. So the ability to clearly see. This is when I started seeing images, pictures, visuals, what felt like memories. It was a really interesting time of just seeing things that were not my own in my own visual field in the living world, but seeing things just come through constantly. This is really how mediumship opened up for me. And while it's still present and I still see, it's actually not the main one anymore. It's kind of evolved over time. Clairaudience is the one that is coming through for me really strongly right now. So this is something that I've asked to be opened up because I feel like I'm finally ready to receive as far as hearing. So clairaudience is going to be when we hear messages from the spirit world, or we hear things from our guides, or we hear things like a phrase or a song, or we hear someone's loved one telling us a story. This hearing is really powerful because we can get really distinct information, but it's an internal hearing. So instead of hearing it and it comes from outside, it's a hearing it from the inside. The next one I'm going to talk about is clairsentience. So this is that clear feeling. So many energy intuitives, sensitive people, empaths have this clear feeling when they really tune in. We often have these clairs in our intuition, but I'm really speaking to them in regard to mediumship in this video or in regard to connecting with the spirit world. That clear feeling is just feeling the emotions and energies and physical sensations in your body, feeling things, but they're not necessarily your own. They are that are coming through as information as you're reading or connecting with loved ones who have passed. Then there's the claircognizance. This might be more for the intellects out here or the people that feel like they need to connect with the mind, but the mind energy is out of the way. This is the clear knowing. So claircognizance is that clear knowing. You just know things without knowing them. You don't know how you know them, but you know them to be true. You know they are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, true. This is when you just say, oh, I know that, and trust that you know that. Clairaudience is clear smelling. This one I've gotten a few times. It's coming on a little bit stronger nowadays, depending on the session or the client or who I'm with. I got this in a recent podcast recording with one of my guests where I was recording for the Soul Threads podcast that I host, and I just could smell this frankincense smell come through. And she was talking about a specific situation where the frankincense was burned, but I didn't know this. She was just starting to talk about this, and I said, oh, I smell this come through. And then clairgustance, which is really beautiful. This is clear tasting. I had this recently where I read for someone and their grandfather was describing their favorite ice cream, his favorite ice cream growing up. He wanted me to show this person a swirl ice cream with a red kind of strawberry swirl in it. And when I felt that and saw that, I also tasted that rich flavor and strawberry flavor, confirming it wasn't a raspberry swirl or it wasn't a cherry swirl, but it was indeed a strawberry swirl. So when I mentioned that, of course, it was really great because she was able to say, ah, yeah, that was his favorite ice cream, was that strawberry swirl. So this is how many of us would categorize connecting with spirit. I do think, I'm going to be honest, that it's more fluid than this. We categorize things in these ways to help us understand what they are, to help us move through them, to help us really understand where we're getting the messages from. But if I'm being honest, it all moves together in kind of a synchronous dance. Sometimes it's not so cut up into categories. It feels like a little bit of it all at once. So maybe this is you. Maybe you are feeling this too in your mediumship journey. It's just how they arrive through these beautiful senses we have. Our senses are expansive. I don't even think we understand the depths of our senses. We feel, know, see, understand things that are beyond what would be our limited 3D perception in ways that I can only say is confirmed through the signs and evidence of what I've experienced communicating with the spirit world. I want to just go through a little bit about discerning spirit versus the ego mind. I think this is really important when we connect with spirit to discern spirit. For me, it's really in the opening and closing practice and what I do in between when I'm in session and communicating with loved ones, communicating with spirit, which I'm going to go over here in a minute. But for me, setting the intention of love, of I'm coming at this to be of service to the spirit world. I'm not here for my ego. I'm not here to serve my interest. I'm not here for anything other than to be here for the spirit world. I love how I'm speaking right now and the birds are chiming in and getting really strong and really communicating. I always love when that happens. So I'm going to leave it in. This intention is important. Oftentimes, our ego mind would have us be comparative, would have us feel like we need to compete or that that there's scarcity, there's fear, that wants us to do things not from a place of like overflow and love and joy. When I connect with the spirit world, I open it up like this. I have an opening and a closing that I do. I often have ritual that I do before session or after session as well. And during a session, I also check in with myself. Sometimes my thinking mind, my logic mind will move in. Maybe you're familiar with this in your own practice, where you're connected with spirit, you feel your channel open, you feel that loved one come through, you start to get to know them, and all of a sudden, you feel your mind move into the frame. You feel your mind take over. You feel your ego wanting to step in and say, I think it would be this because this makes more sense. That is ego mind. If there's convincing, if it's trying to tell you something, if it's trying to convince you that what you're seeing shouldn't be communicated or isn't true, that's often our fear mind, our ego, any sense of us trying to like step in the way and keep us safe. But what's really safe and loving is saying, I am here in service of you, spirit. I accept all the information that is here, trying to find this loved one. I'm a clear and open channel, and I receive information from only that loving place. So going to invite, open, and then close with a connection. This is something that I think is important to practice and learn. So while I'm going to share this with you here, I don't think this is a comprehensive teaching moment where that you could watch this one thing and then all of a sudden just dive in and like open and close a session. I'd love to connect you more with this, like dive deeper into this. While you can do this on your own anytime, of course, there's no gatekeeping, there's nothing. I would just say, really sit with this, play with it, and know that this is a rhythm and open and close that works for you, and then sit and listen. So, oftentimes you'll hear it called sitting in the power or opening up to spirit. I like to think of it as a clear channel of communication where my energy just opens up and flows. Then I invite in spirit. I say, Spirit, I'm here in service of you. I'm here calling in the loved ones for, and then naming the person who's in front of me. I'm asking that the loved ones come through who are here for their highest and best intention from a place of love, who have messages to share, who have things they need to speak of. And those people are welcome, those spirits, those souls are welcome to be here with us today. I also ask for a clear and boundary channel. I ask that you really sit with us and protect us. I call in our spirit guides, both theirs and mine, to be there during the session. And I really make it clear that I am in service of spirit and I will pass on the information without my heart, mind, energy in the way, and just really try to move through what is being shown to them. Then if I lose that mid-session, sometimes you'll notice like if you're speaking with someone and you're doing a lot of talking, it can feel a little disconnected. And so to get that connection back, you just say, Spirit, I recognize that I'm feeling a little disconnected or my mind's moving in the way. I am asking for an open and clear channel. I'm opening this back up. If you're already with their loved one who has passed, you feel their presence, you can see them, you know they're with you, they're communicating information. If you feel like the connection is maybe pulling apart a little bit or it's being lost a little bit, your frequency is lowering, so it's not there as much as you would like, just imagine raising your energy back up, raising your frequency back up. And as you do this, you will feel that connection come again. And you can say to that loved one, thank you for being here with me. I'm just raising my frequency to meet you. I would love to know more about you. Could you take me on a journey? Could you hold my hand? Could you show me what you're trying to show me in a different way? And really reconnect. Connecting with someone's loved one who has passed is all about the relationship. It's all about the communication. If you were to come to a cafe and meet someone for the first time and sit down with them, what would you say to them? You wouldn't say, hello, what's your name? What's your age? Nice to meet you. Tell me everything about you. Detail, detail, detail. Rattle it off. It doesn't quite work that way, at least not for me. It's more of a getting to know someone. Hi, I'm Kelsey. Let me know more about you. Could you show me your life? Could you show me why you're here? Could you help me understand what you need to communicate to this wonderful person in front of me? Tell me what is on your mind and heart. Show me your life. Show me details about yourself. Help me see what would be confirming and evidence and love for this person who is here with me today. It's like sitting down at a cafe, having a chat, getting to know this beautiful soul who you've just met. And when it comes to closing, it goes very similarly, thanking and full gratitude. I know sometimes when you've been doing this work a long time, it can feel like, oh, I might just skip over that. I've kind of figured it out. Really don't ever skip it if you can. I think it's so important to always show gratitude to your guides, the spirit world, the energy of it all, the person who came to you and trusted you, who sat with you for an hour and allowed their energy to be open, their heart to be open, who trusted you with their loved ones who are on the other side, who have passed. It's a really, really beautiful place to be. And so showing gratitude is important. Closing the session with something like this. I am so grateful to have been here with you and your loved one today. Thank you for sharing the space with me. I come from a place of love and integrity, and I will always do my absolute best for you and for spirit because I work for the spirit world. So thank you, spirit world, for being here today. Thank you, loved ones, for showing up. Thank you, guides, for supporting us. I now close the channel. I close the session. Our energies are with us, returning to where they are. And I just hope you go forward with love and peace and joy for your day ahead. Whether it's love or joy or peace, maybe it's ease and remembrance and love, whatever the session was about, I like to tie it together there and really bring in the essence of that entire session. So we have the opening, the middle, the closing, an understanding of the clairs and how this works, and what it is to just really sit with the power of you and your mediumship and your energy, raise your frequency. I also want to talk a little bit about how I raise my frequency before a session. I think this is also important. For me, it's through movement, dance, sitting with the power, journaling. I like to sit a few minutes before a session. So 5 to 10 minutes, I like to just sit and really feel, not pre-linking. So pre-linking is going to be when you link with the person who is trying to come through for your sitter or the client. But this is more me just meditating in, connecting with my guides, connecting with the energy of it all. It's really a beautiful practice. I used to resist it so much, if I'm being honest. I was so uncomfortable with it. It was so much nervous energy, so much tension, so much intensity. And then I realized this is where the magic is like honoring, loving, and knowing that this level of intensity is okay. It's okay to be in this power. It's okay to be in this magic. This is where your soul shines, is in the connection. So this is a little bit about mediumship, how it works for me, how the practice works, sharing some insights with you and a little bit about my story so that if you were in the process of going through this or you were interested in this, you might glean some insights. I'll share one last story with you about my Nana. She is my mom's mom. She has been coming through a lot. And I was just recently at a mediumship retreat with 100 other mediums, and there was someone reading up on a stage for 25 people, and my Nana decided to come through. And the way she came through was so beautiful. I had never met the person before that was up on stage. She was incredible. And she came through with these shoes she used to wear, these ballroom dancing shoes, and her skirts, and dancing alone, and just really showing her in this kind of poised dance scenario. And while it didn't make any sense to the person reading, and she was saying, why would she be dancing alone? That's really interesting. To me, it made perfect sense because my Nana loved performing. She loved dancing and she loved being in her essence. In fact, it was a really big part of her story. And I share that vulnerably here with you today. I know that's a lot of personal detail, but I share it with you in the hopes that when you connect with your loved ones in spirit and the loved ones who have passed, that you too can feel the frequency of the information that they are trying to get through to you, that you can really feel the signs and symbols and synchronicities of how they show up. Because she was lovely and she could have shown up in 100 different ways, through different memories, through any of the things. But the way she showed up was so resonant, I was able to identify and understand that that person was there for me right away. Spirit is always showing up. It has moved me. It has changed me. It has helped me understand that my life can be beyond anything that I had truly dreamed, visioned, or imagined before. While a lot of this is the interconnectedness of all things, it's also the remembrance of all things. That when we are here in service of spirit, in service of a life that is full of love and intention, hope, reconciliation, forgiveness, community, and really being within and saying, what is my soul magic trying to do? What is my soul voice trying to say? We open up our own abilities to lead from a place of alignment, aligning our soul's vision with our action, and integrity, where our words and our actions match. And when we do these things, I know it sounds fairly simple, but when we listen and we build trust and we do these things, we're also building trust with the spirit world and being able to communicate with loved ones in the spirit world like we never have before. I love being here. I love sharing this with you. I'm so excited to be on this platform and sharing the magic here. I'm hoping you will join me. I would love for you to join this community. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear what you think, because the truth is, mediumship has changed me, and maybe it's changed you too. Maybe you've had an experience with another medium or in your own life, sensing your loved one, asking for a sign, getting a sign, seeing something that just really opened up your awareness and understanding of this. And maybe you're moved to understand more or to be here from a place of love and curiosity. Whatever your reason is for listening, for learning, for being here today, just know that these things, they typically find you exactly when they're meant to find you in the world. There's many things that are placed in our path, and there's so much opportunity that comes from tending to what draws us, to tending to what our heart feels like it wants to speak, and its truth. If you've ever felt the presence, dear ones, you are not alone. Spirit is with us, always around us. If you're interested to learn more, I would love to be in a space where we could do that together. You're welcome to book a one-on-one reading, a group reading, or I also will have some opportunities for teaching and group sessions coming out here in the near future. So whatever is calling to you today, whether it's education or for being here to expand your abilities, I'm so glad this found you. And until next time, dear hearts, thank you for being here.